I don't understand the Inkey List's oat cleansing balm. Now, to preface this, I don't want to say I hate the Inkey List, I hate this product, this is bad, nobody should buy it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I don't understand it, and I'm not really sure what it's trying to be, what it's trying to do, what it's trying to accomplish. And a part of me thinks that the Inkey List also doesn't really know the answer to that, and I want to discuss this. For those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Griffin. I am a self-taught skin enthusiast, let's say. I am by no means an expert, and in this video I think it's important to say I am by no means a cosmetic formulator or chemist. So all these opinions just kind of come from me and my experience anecdotally and working with products with certain ingredients and talking about it with some people and doing my own research. This is by no means a professional review about this, but I have been eyeing the Inkey List's Oat Cleansing Balm for a while. I am somebody who really enjoys oil cleansers that come in more unique mediums, and this one being in a tube rather than a normal balm, which would come in a jar, was like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Why not have it be something that you can squeeze out into your hand instead of having to dig up with a scoop, and the scoop's always a mess, and you're never able to get the right amount that you want? Why not? Let's try it out. The price is right. The company's great. I love the company. I love so many of their products. Why not try it out? But I just was really confused when using it. Primary cause of my confusion is that this calls itself a cleansing balm, but I still do not know whether this is supposed to be an oil cleanser first step or a water cleanser second step. And the reason is that is because I'm getting conflicting ideas from the packaging, from like the marketing that's on there that's written by the Inkey List, and the ingredients list, and how it functions on my skin, and it isn't really clear to me. And I think this is a really common thing that I've been seeing, not just with the Inkey List. A lot of brands have been doing this, but I think the Inkey List really is the best example that I know of that has been kind of exacerbating this issue within the beauty and more specifically skincare community that I think we really need to address and really need to get brands to kind of take a little bit more ownership of, and that is cleansers are not all in one steps. That is just not how the science works. That is not how you're going to be able to do it. There's this great kind of joke that Christine from Simply Nailogical did that was all like, opaque and 4 easy coats. And then she goes, 4 coats is not easy. When I want opaque and easy coats, it should be 1 or 2 coats. And that's how I feel with cleansers, where a lot of companies are saying both cleanses skin and removes all of your makeup in 1 easy step. No, that product does not exist. And it's not existing for a reason. That's not how it's gonna work. So, going all the way back to high school chemistry, we have 2 main types of kind of molecules and ways that things are soluble or will dissolve in each other. You have polar molecules, or ones that have a charge of positive or negative, and you have nonpolar molecules, ones that do not have any charge whatsoever. And we have like enjoys and dissolves like. So a polar molecule will be very attached to other polar molecules, and nonpolar molecules will be very attracted to other nonpolar molecules. The 2 main examples we use for polar and non-polar molecules is that water is a polar molecule and oil is a non-polar molecule. This is why notoriously water and oil do not mix, because they just don't have the same polarities and they're not going to mix together. As you can imagine, the stuff that's on your face and keeping everything dirty are a mixture of these 2 things. You have some polar dirts and you have some non-polar dirts, sunscreen, makeup, sweat. All these different things are going to need to be removed with something that dissolves them. And for a lot of people, because we're using oil-based sunscreens and we're using makeup, almost all makeup is oil-based these days, that's why it doesn't wash off easily. You want to use an oil cleanser first, and you want to use the oil cleanser on dry skin, because if your skin's already wet, that's oil and water. It won't mix. So you want to put the oil on your dry skin and dissolve everything together. And usually what these oil cleansers have is they have emulsifiers in them. And these are really special little molecules that are going to be able to help the water and the oil be able to mix once they do come together and kind of go through that transition. That is fundamentally the idea of what soap is, but this is just kind of trying to make sure that we're gathering up all the oil, we have it all collected collected, we have it all pulled out, it's all separated. Now we can do the water cleanser and get rid of all of the water dissolved stuff, water soluble stuff on your skin like the sweat, and be able to get all the oil off as well into the sink because you have the emulsifiers as help to use that cleanser to get off your skin. That is like the kind of baby's first explanation of it. It's more complicated than that. I am not qualified to tell you how it works like that. Maybe I said some things that people are like, well, that's actually not how it technically works. From what I understand and what I have been taught, that is the idea of a double cleanse and why it is important for most people, even if you're not a wake-up wearer, to double cleanse. So, looking at the composition of the Inkey List Oat Cleansing Balm, this is an oil-based product. This is using oils as the main ingredients. They're the entire ingredient list. This comes in a base of sweet almond oil and also have some other oils, and we also have some polyethylene glycols or PEGs, which help and actually act as the emulsifiers. But we do see water near the end of the list, which isn't uncommon for a lot of cleansing balms. It's not uncommon to have water at the very end of the list, but given that we have concentrations from high to low and water usually is at the very bottom of the list, we're very, very confident that this is an oil-based cleanser, so this should be used on dry skin and be able to remove the makeup. But let's read the instructions here on this bottle, and let's see what the Inkey List says. How to use. Use AM and PM. Gently massage a small amount onto dampened face and neck. Rinse thoroughly with water. Follow with preferred serums and moisturizers stored in a cool place out of sunlight. This suggests that the Inkey List is treating this as a water-based cleanser. This is one that is supposed to be used after you have rinsed your face, so theoretically after you have washed your makeup off, because why else is your face wet to begin with, and it should get everything off. You could argue that they're saying they actually do want you to still, with a full face of makeup and everything, wash your face and rinse it first so that it is immediately emulsifying, but I'm not sure that necessarily is going to be the best way of doing it, where you're already causing it to turn from the oil to water stage, you're not collecting everything together. I don't think you're necessarily going to be getting as deep and as thorough as a cleanse if you're actually just massaging it first, then emulsifying and going for another massage, getting everything collected and done. And it really confuses me that this is the path that they want to go. In fact, this is not the Inkey List's first try in actually making a water and oil double cleanser all-in-one type of product, because they have a water oil double cleanser product that they actually sell on Sephora. I'm looking at it right now. And what are the ingredients in it? Water first, then sweet almond oil. It's the same idea that they're trying to do. But when you look at the reviews on that product, they are bad. People do not like that product. They're saying it doesn't work, it's a bad water cleanser and a bad oil cleanser mixed together just to be a bad cleanser, and it's not working out for them. People do enjoy this one a lot more, but I think that's because this is fundamentally an oil cleanser that they're just kind of having a struggle trying to market. They're trying to have this replace that 2-in-1 that isn't doing that well when this is only one step of the equation. In fact, when I think of an Inkey List cleanser that I think does do a great job and has nailed what it aims to do, it's their salicylic acne cleanser that they sell that is a water-based cleanser that is targeted to be an anti-acne ingredient with salicylic acid. Great, love that. And they tell you, put it onto wet face, like you're supposed to. It works. It doesn't have a lot of extras. It's not trying to be more than what it is. And it does a really, really good job of that, to the point where I think this one actually came out before the CeraVe SA cleanser. I'm probably wrong about that. Don't quote me on that. But it is not trying to be more than what it's already doing. As I mentioned before, I don't think the Inkey List is alone in not really understanding how to do these types of cleansers and how to market them to people, because people would love to have a cleanser that does everything all in one quick and easy step. That would be amazing. People would love that. That's what people want. But I frankly don't think it exists in the way that they want it to. For example, we have the Ordinary Squalane Cleanser that I also actually want to try that is also super confused, but I think fewer people actually enjoy that, fewer people actually buy that, and it's the Ordinary's only cleanser, so it's a really interesting thing. And even then, water is actually really high up on the ingredients list for that one. It is squalane, then water. So you have an oil, and then you have a water. This is sounding really familiar to me. In my humble, unprofessional, no one cares opinion, I would do my cleansers in this certain way. And especially for companies like The Ordinary and the Inkey List, who do have a focus on affordable, effective, no BS skincare, I would do something like, all right, here's my oil cleanser. We have mineral oil with some type of emulsifier like polysorbate or like cremollient, and then maybe a little bit of a preservative. Even though technically you don't need a preservative in an oil-based thing, you never know when you're going to get water into a product, either from user or from bathroom humidity. Always a safe thing to have in there. Bam! Oil cleanser. That's all it needs to be. And honestly, for a water cleanser, just rip off one of the big drugstore cleansers like CeraVe or La Roche and just do water, surfactant, glycerin. Done. Like, it doesn't need to be that complicated. It doesn't need to be an all-in-one thing. If you give two very affordable, it's going to do this and it's going to do this well, that's what people are buying into your product to do in the first place. If people wanted a magical do everything, they'd be going back over to Tatcha or something who's saying that they're going to be doing everything, or Laneige who's like, this is a toner and a moisturizer all in one. But they're paying a premium for that. You don't need to be that special we're magic thing going on. Or even better yet, do what Pixie did with Carolyn Hirons with their double cleanse little bar, where they had two separate containers that were connected in the same packaging of one's the oil cleanser, one's the water cleanser. Do that. Do that. And to kind of add insult to injury and not really understanding what this product is supposed to be, and me thinking that the Inkey List also has no clue what this product is supposed to be, they also have this one little, you see that big little info sign? They have one more note. Leave on for 10 minutes as a nourishing face mask. Why does your cleanser need to be a face mask too? I have my cleanser on that is designed to clean off gunk, not to put stuff in. When I want to put stuff in, I will go for a dedicated mask or I will go for a serum. I don't want to put something that already has emulsifiers and surfactants and stuff that is meant to be cleaning stuff off my face left on my face. Imagine if you were supposed to be leaving your shampoo on as a hair mask. No, you don't use shampoo hair mask 2-in-1s, you use conditioner hair mask 2-in-1s. I don't know why this has to be a thing. And they're not the first ones to do it. There are brands like Neutrogena and Oxy who have been doing clay mask, cleanser, all-in-ones, which don't need to exist. I think they're bad masks and bad cleansers. But I'm doing a lot of complaining here. I'm doing a lot of complaining of, oh, I don't like how it's marketing this way. I'm complaining a lot, but I say a lot of bad, and I don't think this is a bad product. I don't think this is a you should not buy this product. I don't think I necessarily will buy it again because I have cleansers that I prefer over it, but I think this is actually a really solid choice for a lot of people. And let me show you kind of how it looks. So it's a hot day, so it's coming right out of the tube. It is ready, and it definitely is an oily, balmy kind of thing going on. It reminds me a lot of honey in a way, where it definitely is a liquid, but it's a very syrupy, sticky, thick liquid, where I can rub it into my hand and it is oily. It feels like oil. It is collecting all of the dirt off of my hand, and it's leaving me with an oily film that is now ready to be emulsified. I will do that for you. I'll be right back. All right. Oily hand, wet hand. What happens when I rub wet hand on oily hand? We get a little bit of kind of turning more milky, more opaque. I don't think you can see it very well from the camera, but we're getting a little bit of it, and it's definitely getting rid of that oily feeling from my hand. It's feeling like it has been cleansed a lot better. It feels like it has gotten rid of that film. So it's rinsing off very well, and I can just wash my hands right off. It'll be fine. It's not a bad cleanser. It doesn't do its job poorly. I just think that it's very confused, and I think the Inkey List could do a better job if they just committed to this being their oil cleanser and then going over to their salicylic acid acne cleanser as being their water cleanser and saying, use both. Use this one first, then wash it off with this one. I know a lot of people who love this cleanser. I know a lot of people who ride or die by this cleanser and would be really upset if the Inkey List reformulated it. So I'm a little bit conflicted on my final conclusions of this, which is why I really want to focus on the marketing and the ingredient choices rather than the effectiveness of the cleanser, because the results work. I kind of want to shout out all of these brands, not just the Inkey List, for trying to force a cleanser to do more than it's supposed to do, and products in general to be doing more than it's supposed to do. When people are happy about one result, they're happy about that result. You don't need to force more and more and more on them that this is going to be a miracle product when that isn't what it is meant to do. So I implore people to openly embrace that double cleansing has become a trend and has become popular, and use it as an opportunity to sell more stuff. Like, come on, this is a perfect chance to get people to buy more, and they're sleeping on it. They're saying, no, we don't want people to buy more. Meanwhile, over in Korea, they got people buying like 5 different cleansers, and they're happy with it. They're like, yeah, I love this. So I don't know why American and Western beauty is so obsessed with this idea of one easy step that gets rid of everything. If there was one easy step that got rid of everything, that would probably be very irritating and drying to your skin to have it be of such a level to get all of it off. So that's kind of my rant/review on the Inkey List's Oat Cleansing Balm. Again, I do want to emphasize that I actually really like the brand, and I think a lot of their products are very, very good products. I am using a lot of them myself very, very happily, and I'm so glad that they're bringing great formulations at an accessible price point to people in accessible stores like Sephora, and we need to see more of that. We need to see more people going in with that philosophy, so I really want to applaud them and say keep doing what you're doing, but I also am not going to give anybody a free pass for doing something good if I disagree and think that there is room for improvement. So that's my video. I hope that you enjoyed that and maybe you kind of learned a little bit more. I doubt anybody important will be watching this and kind of changing their opinions, but we'll see. I'd love to hear your opinions down below on what you think about this cleanser and what you think about the cleansers in general. I really want to start a conversation about this. I would love to talk to you about it in the comments. I would love to talk to you about it on my Instagram. My Instagram is just Griffin Skincare, all one word. So you see that little title down there, just Griffin Skincare, remove that space, that's my Instagram. And leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and maybe even subscribe if you want to see more of it. I do a lot of different stuff, both Western, Eastern, all of the above, mixtures of both, and I'll catch all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.